Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. We're continuing on our journey from Kathikas village, and we're going to head down towards the area known as Paphos, and we're going to go out towards Latchi, because Latchi is a very, very nice place indeed. It's a marina, a harbour, whatever you choose to call it. It's very quaint, not very big, but there are around about 10 to 15 restaurant cafeterias in that particular area, gift shop, supermarket, that kind of thing. Obviously the spectacular blue Mediterranean Sea. Quite a few water sports operations going out from there. Personal friend of mine, Tom from Latchi Water Sports, probably the best, probably the biggest, and probably the most successful water sports operations in downtown Latchi. So the boss is known, his name is Tom. You'll often see him there. He's the guy with the bright blonde hair, round about 35, maybe 1 or 2 years older. Got a great crew, staff in the summer up to 100 people. They do all sorts of things, from teaching you how to go on boats to this course and that course. They've got cruises, and I mean they've got cruises, jet skis, bobcatting, you name it. There's all sorts of things going on. So pop into Latchi Water Sports and see the crew. That's what you want to do, because they're going to make sure that you have a great time indeed. So we're going to join the main Paphos Cyprus road literally now. We took a right diversion through the Kathikas village, and we're going to start our descent down towards Latchi. It's probably going to take about 15 to 20 minutes depending on the traffic. So this video is slightly longer than usual, but we're going to keep it as one. So this is Kathikas to Latchi, as I call it, which is on the Paphos side of Paphos. Now, I don't normally drive very quickly, but this car in front is driving too slow even for my liking. It's doing about 40 kilometers an hour, so that is what, 29 miles an hour. So when the straight comes up, we're going to give it a bit of a boot and we're going to get round him. Let's see just how quick this old girl can pick up, shall we? Here we go. Get ready for it, and then we'll settle down to a nice speed. Don't worry, Miss Andrea, there's no policeman on this part of the road, and on top of that there are no traffic lights either. Here we go, let's hear her growl and we're off. There we are. Now and again it's quite useful to have a large engine car, because you can get around slow moving traffic, isn't it? So there we are. You're going to get a better view with no car in front of us. It's a beautiful day, a spectacular day. As you can see, the sun, well, it's gleaming. It's behind us now, if you understand me, but it's gleaming and it's glistening upon the blue Mediterranean Sea. The sky is pretty blue. 1 or 2 clouds around, but it's not bad, is it? I'm dressed head to toe in blue, so I'm telling you, all that's missing is you get yourself on a big bird or a canoe and start paddling like crazy. The Cyprus is quite simply waiting for you. So the descent is going to come up. We are now going to come past the turning for a roads and Inya. If you watch the channel on a regular basis, you'll probably remember that last week we paid a visit. We went through a roads, which is on the left hand side here, and we went out to Inya to see a customer. Great area, by the way. I really like roads. My only concern would be that it's around about 20 minutes to Paphos and around about 25 minutes to Paphos. So I don't want to dwell on the subject I'm on now, but of course I'm old. So as we get older, you know, if we need medical care, or in my case I need a can of Coke and that kind of stuff, you know, if a kiosk is more than 10 minutes away, perhaps you shouldn't consider to live in that area. There we go. Or if you want a can of Pepsi Max with cherry, if your name's Miss Andrea and Mr. Mart. And I don't think there's many peacocks out here as well, Mr. Mart. You're more likely to find the odd peacock strutting its stuff up and down the Paphos promenade and harbour. Certainly a pelican anyway. Right, as we come through this next series of bends, you are going to get some spectacular views, so don't click off just yet. Stick with the madness, and I promise you, you're going to get some great views over, I think you pronounce it, the Kathikas Bay. So that's the bay to Latchi and Paphos. And it's a great area. It really is. And slowly but surely they're improving the road network. They have started building sections of a new road that they're going to build to Paphos to, well, alleviate some of the congestion and of course make it that little bit faster and that little bit safer. Because the main road, I'm not going to say it's a bad road. This is not a bad road either. but it can be a dangerous road because there's not much street lighting, as you may have noticed, and they don't put crystal or glass into the painting of the lines, so they don't reflect either. So it can be quite dark at night. And well, what can I say? If you're out on these roads at night, please drive carefully. Please don't get cocky, and please don't think that you know the road, because the roads can change, the dramatics can change, the lighting can change, and you can get sidetracked looking at a view or whatever it is. So stick to the speed limit. Speed limit on this road, by the way, is 50 kilometers an hour. So stick to around about 60. The boys in blue will not bother you. Pretty sure now you may have noticed that there is a spectacular view coming up. So stick with us, sit back and relax and enjoy the drop down to the area known as Polis. And then we're going to go through Polis, take a lefty and head out towards what's going on here. Oh my goodness, the road has collapsed again. So here we are, we're having a diversion. On the series of bends just down there, the road is continuing to collapse. These are the other things you've got to worry about when you're driving around. Not just lunatics in black S-classes who want to overtake you because you're going those through. Not people going through red lights, but also roads that can collapse, because the main road through Yolu collapsed. Well, it's collapsed twice in the 10 years that I've been travelling that road. And that road over there, down there now, was repaired, 2 years ago, and now it's collapsed again. It's an open stretch of road on a mountainside, so they haven't got their heads around how to create a bed, a structure for the road to sit on. My father was here, he's a structural engineer, he's a great structural engineer, by the way, and he was a consultant engineer, so he's a very clever man. He would laugh at them, but anyway, if he did it his way, the road would never ever collapse, but it would probably cost him €1 billion or so, because he worked for the World Bank. If you understand who the World Bank are, they are project funders for projects all over the world, and money doesn't really bother them. So if something's going to cost $1 million, they'll spend 10. If it's going to cost $1 billion, they'll spend 5 billion. There we go. And of course, a lot of that money gets reappropriated into various people's pockets, shall we say. Anyway, we are now, we're sort of coming through Inia. Yes, we are in the lower part of Inia. That's where we are. Inia is a big village, by the way. Well, it covers a lot of territory. So you've got the Platras Hotel, so it says up there, and you've got a nice hotel coming up here, by the way, and it's got a great view straight down towards that. Have a look. Wow. See, I promised you a great view, didn't I? Yes. You thought perhaps I was lying. No, I was not. One of the greatest views in the whole of the Paphos district. And this is a reason why a lot of people come and live out and look out towards Latchi. Yes, I used to live up in Lissos, which is a mountain just over there to the right, and our view was that view, and it was a spectacular view, and I feasted my eyes and digested that view for 5 years and never ever got tired of it. Why did we move? Well, the commute for Marika was a little bit too far. She's a bit of a city girl, so we hooked up 4 years ago now, and after about 1.5 years, to be honest, she used to glaze over. She didn't like the 45 minutes to an hour drive each way. She really didn't like it. So we moved to a roads, and we have a spectacular view, and we look down over, Cape of Paphos and the blue Mediterranean Sea. But I believe that this view and the area around here, the mountainous area around this area, is more spectacular. I'm a boy from Wales, so of course I'm used to this kind of terrain, shall we say, and the green grass of home. Now please forgive the camera bouncing around, because you may have noticed that the road service, it's Sherlock Holmes, that is for sure. What's Sherlock Holmes? Well, SH stands for Sherlock Holmes. Put a couple of dots in and put an IT on the end, so SHIT. Those are the words that Marika came up with instead of using that word SHIT, and it's stuck. There we go. So when something's not good, it's Sherlock Holmes. And this road, it's certainly not good. So if your name is Lady so sweet Caroline, and you've got a partner in crime called Lord Nigel Big Guns, get your bottom on a memory foam pillow, and just before you do, pour a tot or two just to take the pain away as we descend on our travels towards Latchi. That's what I call it, Latchi. That's where we're going. That's where it is, straight down there. That is Latchi Harbour, and you're going to get a great view when we get there, so stick with us. Probably going to take us another, I'm going to say 10 minutes to be safe, so just so you don't get too bored, go and pour yourself a cup of coffee or something. There we go. We're joining the main road again. We're going to take a left and continue on our descent to Latchi on a spectacular day. It really is indeed. The temperature, if you're wondering, well, if your name is Miss Dawn, you got a husband called Mr. Sean, you got a cat called Miss Daisy, and a dog called Bobo. The temperature today is around about 21 degrees, so it's not bad, and we are coming rapidly now towards the end of April. So as soon as May hits, I promise you the temperature's going to ramp up. 24, 25 is the norm, and blazing sunshine and blue everything. Blue skies, blue seas, blue Mr. Paul, and even the odd bit of blue language, that is for sure. 65 is the speed limit along here. So as I say to you, just stick to 60. It's simple. You haven't got to ponder then or keep checking your speedo. Stick to around about 60 kilometres an hour, and the boys in blue won't even look at you. They'll continue to chonk on the cigarettes and slurp on the frappe. I'm talking about frappes. I've got a nice coffee in my hand, so bear with me. Not too bad. Who shall I thank for that one? Well, I think I'm going to thank Mr. Matt, because Mr. Matt, you are an overly generous man indeed, and I hope that Miss Tony had a spectacular holiday, and I hope that the surprise holiday to Paphos blew her away, and hopefully you'll drop in the comments when you arrive. I know you're coming on the 8th of June. Settle yourselves in, and hopefully you will choose to meet up with us, because we'd love to meet you. We really would. And anyone who wants to meet us, drop it in the comments, and if it can happen, it will. We understand some people hunt us down and they find us, and some people hunt us and don't find us. We can't meet everyone. We would love to, but obviously work commitments and all that kind of stuff sometimes does get in the way. But we'd like to meet every single person on the planet, and we mean no harm to anybody. All we want is a bit of fun and a bit of game. Look at that for a view. Wow, that's a spectacular view indeed. And the descent has started. You're not on EasyJet, you're not on Jet 2, no day man, you're in the back of a black S-Class, and we are descending down to the Chrysanthemum Bay in downtown Latchi. That's where we are going, and it's a spectacular bay. And if you're in Paphos and you've got a car, you've hired a car, or you've stolen a car, or perhaps someone's kind of lent you a car, it's worth the trip. It'll take you about an hour from Paphos to get here, so set off in the morning, you know, 9:30, 10 o'clock, and spend the day here, have your lunch, perhaps have your tea, and head back at around about 6ish, just so it doesn't go dark on you on your way back. And you're going to have a great day. Very friendly people, by the way. The command of English, to be honest, in my opinion, in the Paphos and the Latchi area, is much better than the command of English in the Promenade and Harbour area of downtown Paphos. You'll find there's a lot of South African Cypriots from this area, so of course their first language is English, and then I don't know, it's Swahili or something else, and Afrikaans, and then of course Greek. So that probably explains why the command of English is that little bit better in this area. And well, there we go. Obviously we should perhaps speak other languages as well, but being an English person, or Welsh in my case, I don't even speak Welsh, by the way, just so you understand. Just the odd word like Nostar, Borodar, Yakida, Boyo. There we are. Miss Nessie, all the way from London, she speaks more Welsh than I do, and she doesn't live in Wales, she lives in Staffordshire. There you go. What can you say? Us Welsh people, we're stupid, that's for sure. Idiot in a blue hat and a pair of sunglasses. There we are. My father would be proud. He used to say, you're beyond stupid. So there we go. And my mother did as well. And my grandfather. Although I think my grandmother loved me quite a lot. She just said I was an idiot. There we go. Right, the descent is continuing. So stick with us if you want to see a little bit of Paphos, a little bit of Paphos area in particular, and a little bit of the Latchi area, because we've got another 5 minutes or so to go, and it just descends and descends, and then it'll bottom out as we hit sea level, and then we're going to cruise into Latchi. And, I think Latchi is one of the greatest beaches. There's something special about it. There's a calmness to it. There's a milkiness. It's like the milkiest lakes of all the lakes in the world. And if you're curious to know about Marika, she's doing fine. She's out in downtown Tbilisi. She's moseying on down. The weather's not too bad. It's a little bit cooler than here, but it's not too bad. And her mum, Hope, is feeling rejuvenated and a little bit better. I'm not going to go on about what happened. If you follow the channel, you understand that there was some bad news around the new year. And of course, her mum suffering a little bit because she's on her own now. But she's coping and getting on with her life, isn't it? Life has to continue once you have a loss in the family. But I said to Marika, well, get on a big bird, pop over. I'm sure that the family members, that's the people who choose to watch us on YouTube, will forgive you for going away for a couple of weeks because they understand that, well, your mum is a very, very important person. Marika's mum is. She's a wonderful person. She really, really is. And she hasn't got a bad word to say about anyone. She gets on with life. She, you know, it's coming to us all. As I say, I'm getting old, and I really, really am. I've noticed that there's some creaks and some pains coming into the body. And I'm not talking about the boys known as the Pains. No, not Lord Jeremy and Lord Simon. They're not Pains, it's just their surname. Two of the nicest people that I've ever met, to be honest, and I look forward to meeting you again in November, boys. I really, really do. And if you need a lift from an airport or whatever. But like you said, this time you're not going to jump from this hotel to that apartment. You're going to find somewhere, book in there and stay there. Because I think it was more hassle than it was worth, wasn't it, to be honest. Although you got to see different parts of Cyprus, I suppose. But I think this time, choose somewhere like the Ampura or whatever, somewhere not far from the harbour area, and mosey on down for your breakfast every day. Have a walk and chat to Coco the Pelican. You never know, you might see a couple of these crazy YouTubers called Mr. Paul and Miss Marika, Miss Latchi, receiving a booth. And hopefully we'll entertain you. Hopefully we will. So, big shout out to the boys. Lord Jeremy, Lord Simon, hopefully you finished your apartment improvements and hopefully you're getting ready because it's not far. You know, the summer's coming and before you know it, November will be here. So this is it. We're going to take the left and we bypassed Polis, if you understand me. And this is Latchi Batchi. If you want to rent a buggy, well, this is probably the one to come for. As you can see, he's got a buggy or two. There we go. Moto Rentals is what it's called. If you Google that, I'm pretty sure you'll find them. And they've got all different sizes, 2-seater buggies, 4-seater buggies, and all those kind of things. So stick with us. This is the final descent into the area known as Latchi. Very, very popular in the summer. Out of season, it's pretty quiet, by the way. But if you're coming here from May, June, July, August, September, you'll always get a great, great welcome. Great breakfast, a great lunch, or perhaps a great evening meal, that's for sure. Very, very popular with tourists, locals, and foreigners alike. And you can keep on going out to the Aphrodite's baths, and then you venture into the Akamas. And if you're very, very brave, you can actually go on those dirt tracks and roads and come out in the further end of the Akamas and come out in the Algia St. George, which is the payer area of Paphos. And you can do it in a car. People will say you can't. Well, I did it in my E-Class before, so I'm pretty sure that I could do it in this S-Class, and it didn't cause any damage, but I don't recommend it, shall we say. You have to be very, very careful. Most people thought I was nuts. My brother was riding co-pilot, and we should have filmed it. And guess what? One of these days, just for the hell of it, I'll go and do it again, and this time I will film it. This is downtown Latchi. That's the La Plage restaurant on the right-hand side, and that is the blue Mediterranean Sea. Latchi Harbour is coming up, and well, it's not busy because it's that little bit early in the season, but if you come back in around about mid-May, I'm pretty sure it'll be ramping up. And I say my friend Tom from Latchi Water Sports, he will start to make his fortune because they get very, very busy. I mean, they're busy all year round with courses and all these kind of things, but through the summer season, well, if you go into their office, and it's quite a big office, normally there's nowhere to sit down, and there's people queuing for this and queuing for that. And he does make a couple of bob, that is for sure. They also do boat storage and boat mechanics, so there's many strings to his bow, and if he's not a millionaire, well, he probably should be, that's for sure. He's made a couple of bob over the years, and you won't meet a nicer guy either, by the way. Here we are. This is the Latchi strip, as we call it, and you've got, well, shops of all sorts, gift shops, burger shops, little restaurants, property sellers. You've got the A20, that's a British property seller. If you want a property in this area, perhaps you pop in there. You've got Blue Night property, you've got supermarkets, there's all sorts of things going on. So we'll keep going, and we'll finish on a truly spectacular view out across the blue Mediterranean Sea. What's this here, Miss Andrea? What is this? What is this thing in red? That's it. About time. Change to amber, because I haven't got time to stop. I've got to keep going. Latchi Water Sports is there on the right hand side, and as I look in, to be honest, even at this time of year, there was probably about 10 to 15 people standing in there chatting away. Porto Latchi, one of the busiest restaurants in the whole of Latchi. You've got Porto Latchi on the left, and then that's the seaside part on the right, and a very popular restaurant indeed. That's the boss's Jeep, and the boss is the uncle to a very good friend of mine in downtown Paphos, although they originally come from Kathikas, if you understand what that's now. That's his uncle, which is just up the road. Big car park over here, and on our right hand side, I'm pretty sure that you can see that that is the blue Mediterranean Sea, and that is the Latchi Beach, and stony beach, but I think it's a very nice beach indeed. We will see if we can enter a car park just up yonder, and you're going to get a spectacular view out across the blue Mediterranean Sea to the area known as Latchi in downtown Paphos district on the Paphos side. Bit of a mouthful, but that's where we are. Let's see if we can pull into this car park, and let's see if you can get a spectacular view indeed. Yes, I think we can. Let's have a look. Here we go. As you see, pretty busy. And there you go. That is a view of the Latchi Beach. There's three ladies enjoying the sun, and they're having a great day. A view to die for, but a great day indeed. Bit of movement in the water. As you can see, there's a slight southwesterly breeze. There's the weather forecast coming in. There's various different blues and turquoise, but it's a beautiful area indeed. So if you get the chance, come over to Latchi for a day or two, and it's a spectacular place indeed. And I'll see you very soon in the next one. Thanks for watching.